Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next session of From Nothing, Lorelei's story. Elle's story. We are going to pick up a little bit after where we left off, but right before we start with the next morning, you said you had something the night before.
Yes. So after the Forged Mind left, I think Lorelei would spiral a little bit, being in this place and just kind of with her thoughts and memories on her friends um, back in Taka. And she just kind of sits by herself as um, the two people that she's with. Remember his name? Sparks?
Sparks, yes.
And I can't remember the bard's name.
Val.
The Val. As they're talking, she's just kind of spiraling in the memories, and it hurts. And she doesn't really excuse herself. She just stands up and leaves and walks out of the Merry Guard.
Okay. So you're on the night street, outside the Merry Guard. As you're out here, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 11.
Now, if I recall, you're not wearing your Merry Guard garments and stuff.
No.
Right. Okay. I have a question for you, Elle.
Yeah.
What do you think is in Lorelei's right-hand pocket?
Right-hand pocket. uh Gosh, she doesn't really have any of her personal effects besides the change she has, so we'll just say it's the change that she has in her pocket, which is a total of um, we'll say 5 gold
5 gold, okay.
or,
Is it
or
in
8. It's 8 gold. It's
is
8
it in
gold.
smaller denominations or is it just gold coins?
It's like 5 gold coins and then uh, smaller denominations.
Okay. Okay. And your passive perception?
Passive perception is a 13.
Okay. You catch. Now, this is the sort of thing that you are accustomed to. This is something you're very used to. Being out on the street, you feel a gentle nudge by somebody as they walk past you. And as it happens, you see a tiefling, dark skin, dark horns, dark hair, as they walk away from you and then up the alley between the Merry Guard and the neighboring building. This is what they look like as they slip between the buildings. You see him with your passive perception of 13.
Yeah, she's accustomed to this. She's done this plenty of times. So she is going to check where he nudged.
You're missing
Or they nudged.
You're missing about 6 coins. Silver coins.
All right. He's more curious than mad. Um,
Okay.
so I think she will nonchalantly like stuff her hands in her jacket pockets and just keep up.
All right. You follow this tiefling into the alley, and roll me a stealth.
Okay. Oh, yeah, not good
A 1.
for 7.
Okay. Yeah. You like follow him around the corner, and you didn't see it, but as you do, you kick an old tin can just ting 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 down the side of the alley, and the tiefling turns around and sees you just around the alley and look at him. There's 3 things you immediately clock. 1, he is wearing Marigard robes. They are not like the sort of robes you would expect like a sorcerer like yourself to wear. It looks like that underneath the cloak is a breastplate of armor, and it's black and green. Like you see there's like illustrations of trees and wildlife on the armor itself. He looks a little out of place wearing it.
Yeah.
He looks at you, and then he just runs.
Well, I guess we're just both sloppy tonight. She just shrugs. She doesn't want to chase.
Okay, you let him go.
Yeah.
Okay.
She saw the Marigard, so she might see him around.
So he doesn't see anything Marigard on you, but you definitely saw it on him.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll probably run into him again. Probably.
We'll subtract the silver.
6 silver coins. Yep.
Okay. Oh, I need to break up my gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll head back to the Marigard Academy.
Okay. That I think maybe that might have stirred her out of her reverie, as you will.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. You head back to the Marigard, and it's late at this point. It's like 10 at night, which means you see something that not everybody sees. As you get to the halls of the Marigard, you see that they are patrolled by golems. Huge metallic suits of armor with halberds that just patrol up and down the hallways. And there's a lot of them. They don't seem to pay you any mind.
Okay. Well, this is... really hope that's for protection. She'll just kind of...
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah.
Well, what else would it be for? You see Maxwell is leaning against the wall right inside the main hall, like right as you've walked by.
I don't know.
You may not believe this, but the Marigot was destroyed a couple of years ago.
Oh.
Nothing's more important to us than everyone who enlists with us being safe whilst within these halls. And he lights a cigar.
She doesn't say anything to that, but she will ask. You wouldn't happen to have a black-skinned tiefling in your class, would you?
Nope. Right now I have a human and a halfling. Or is it a gnome? I get the two mixed up. Halfling. It's a halfling. The
Well,
only black-skinned tiefling I can think of is a druid.
interesting.
Goes by the name of Reckon.
Reckon?
Hmm?
Okay. He just pickpocketed me.
Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it?
It was only 6 silver.
You gonna get it back?
No.
Then maybe you make sure that whatever he has purchased with that 6 silver, it was worth it.
I hope it is.
You have a pleasant night there, Elle.
You too. She'll saunter away to her room.
If you happen to glance behind over your shoulder at Maxwell, he's not there.
Figured.
Yeah.
Stealthy guy. Yeah, she'll head off to her room,
Okay.
slip inside, and lock the door behind her. But she'll check that she has the key like 3 times before she actually settles down in the bed.
You do.
And I don't think she'll immediately go to sleep. Instead, is there like a candle or a lantern or anything like that?
There's an oil lamp in the room.
She will practice control. She'll try different things. She'll try to reach that space within, and she'll try to reach for just the slightest bit of magic to either light the lantern or change it a different color or make it glow. Maybe clean it a little bit if it's dusty. But she'll spend about 2 hours doing this.
Roll me a spellcasting check.
$16.
You discover you have the means to perform minor magical alterations on this lantern. And while you might not exactly understand how you're doing it, you find that you can quench the lantern and ignite it, change the color of the flame at will. More than that might be beyond you at the moment, but you understand that you can control the energy of the flame, what it does, and how it behaves.
I think as she gets to the end of these 2 hours, there's a little bit of sadness in her eyes. Well, actually, a lot of sadness. And her eyes begin to well up, and she will mutter to herself, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't have. Sorry I didn't have this control. Or knew." And she'll cry herself to sleep again.
Okay. With that rough a night, do you think Elle wakes up on time?
We can roll for it again.
Yeah, go ahead and roll, let's say a wisdom save this time.
Okay.
I'm going to set the DC at 13.
13. Wisdom save. No.
Okay. This time,
Barely.
however, you are awoken by a sharp knock at the door. Elle!
She jolts awake.
Elle, if you're late again, Amila's going to have your ass.
It's too early.
Come get breakfast. It'll help. Come on.
She'll try to press the again on herself just to make sure she cleans herself, and then just
Roll a spellcasting
waltzes
check.
out.
Roll a spellcasting check for me.
I got it. It takes a minute.
Yeah,
23.
So now, perhaps having the night's rest, or perhaps just the acceptance that comes with you failed before, and now you have this control. Perhaps the resignation that comes with that, the emotional acceptance that you have this ability. It's almost as if it's a minor thing to wipe the soil and the water and the salt off your face and the sweat. It's all just gone in that instant.
Useful.
What? Come on.
Nothing. I'm coming.
And you see Sparks is standing there. And you see that next to Sparks is the other sorcerer. The one that has struck you as a little creepy the whole time.
Morning.
She just looks at you, red-eyed and red-cheeked as before. It is. Right. Come on, let's go to the mess hall.
She'll just stuff her hands in her pockets and follows.
Okay, so the three of you go to the Marigard mess hall. And as you arrive, it is breakfast time. It's like 6:15 in the morning. And I need, let me roll a thing. I don't need anything from you. That's me talking to myself. Okay. If you eat breakfast today at the Marigard mess hall, which apparently breakfast is a rich offering of these thick cinnamon honey waffles with sausage and eggs. It is rich and sweet, and you gain 10 temporary hit points.
Ooh. Okay.
And as Sparks is like piling on waffle after waffle, he says, I don't know what the hell they did for the golems to know how to make food like this, but I'm not going to complain.
This is really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while since I've had breakfast, like, traditionally.
Well, you can have it every day here. It's worth the gold, in my opinion, just like this.
I like my sleep, though.
Go to bed earlier.
That's better said than done.
Rest is important. It lets your blood settle.
That didn't sound creepy at all. I'm just saying that.
That's good.
Okay.
Sparks says, hey, where'd you go last night? You just walked out. Were you upset? Something happened?
No, everything's fine. I was just tired. I'll roll the deception.
Okay, go ahead.
26.
The other two sorcerers don't have a chance of inciting that. So they're just like, oh, all right. Well, it was a good time. You should come out with, me and Val, we meet up at the Marigard all the time.
Okay.
Val is eccentric.
You can say that again.
You're one to talk. Renata doesn't reply. Renata, Wow. Arithea doesn't reply. Excuse me. Um, as you all eat breakfast, and you have your temp HP assigned, eventually, uh, breakfast, like the hall kind of clears out. Is there anything that you do before you head to class?
While she's eating, she's curious to see if that black skinned tiefling is around.
Roll an investigation.
Okay. Boop. Yeah. No.
Dude.
Over
6.
overstimulated.
Yeah, I'm afraid like every time you like try and like separate to look around, Sparks just has another thought. And you're getting
Oh
the
boy.
impression that Sparks does not keep anything to himself.
Okay. Duly noted.
Yeah.
Uh,
Did you know that there's magic in gemstones? Like if you can combine your magic with rubies, it makes it enhanced with fire, and if you do it with amethysts, then lightning comes out. It's actually really fascinating. Just errant thoughts
yeah.
that have nothing to do with breakfast or anything else that's happening.
All
Oh,
right.
excuse me.
Uh,
I didn't have this on. My mistake. I'm like gesturing and talking with
oh,
my hands, and the camera's not on.
there we go. Um, yeah. So head off to class once we're done eating.
Okay, as you go to the sorcerer's classroom, uh, go ahead and move the map. As you enter, Sparks and Arithea and you all enter the classroom at the same time, and you cannot help but see a small quirk of the lip, a nod of approval from Milla, as she notices you have arrived on time and in the presence of the other sorcerer students.
Uh-huh.
Apparently, this was a mark in the right direction in her book.
Well, it wasn't intentional.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Lorelai knows it though.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. So let's go ahead and, as you get into the classroom, one moment here. Okay. What sort of attitude is coming off of Elle at the beginning of the class? Well, how is she
Uh,
feeling? How's she thinking? Is it optimistic? Is it cold? Is she like shut away or
I think
careful?
I think she's still trying to wake up. Um, breakfast helped a little with that. Uh, but I think it's just generally there's always this level of sadness as it's what happened is still very fresh. Um, but I think she feels after the practice she did last night and the mastery she performed this morning over prestidigitation. I think there's a very faint spark of optimism.
Okay. Amila like approaches, seeing you with a slightly different air than last time, and she gestures, instead of sitting, she gestures for you to stand at like the end of the table, um, looking over like the alchemy supplies and all the different books, and she clears a space away, and she looks at you.
Hmm?
You're not expected to be in control yet. You barely know what's inside you, much less how to command it. But that changes today. And she sets her hands on your shoulders and forcibly turns you so that your back is to the table and Arithea and Sparks, and you're facing like basically the blank wall on this side of the classroom. There's nothing really on it. You see there's like a couple small paintings in the corners, but this wall, oddly enough, is undecorated. It's just a wooden mahogany paneled wall.
Uh, I think Amila would notice that when she touches Lorelai on the shoulders. She's very tense at it.
Yeah, I don't think Amilla cares, but she does notice.
Okay.
It's just so Amilla, the immediate impression that Lorelai's going to get here is that Amilla is about the business, basically.
Okay.
Right. We are going to start with control through silence. No words, no sparks. You will cast using your hands alone. One breath, one spell. And you will not move past this exercise until I say so. And she reaches out in front of Elle, and silently, suddenly, a blue orb appears over Amilla's hand. This is what you're reaching for. Make this. I don't care if you use your pain, your guilt, or whatever ghost it is that's keeping you awake at night, but you will do it quietly. And she snaps her fingers, and the orb disappears. Begin.
Okay. We're trying to replicate that. She will
Quietly.
attempt.
Questions are
Tina,
allowed. Somatics are not.
what's the? This is one action. Oh, Madican. She didn't have to. She doesn't have to say anything. So she is just going to close her eyes, and she will kind of from. She'll put her thumb and forefinger together, kind of like an OK sign, and then just like faintly trace in the air as she rotates her wrists, and the thumb and forefinger separate, and then she brings her pinky and her thumb together as she rotates her wrist, and she tries to envision the spherical ball and cast minor illusion.
As you're casting minor illusion, you feel your hands swatted out of the air. As Amilla says, incorrect! I said to mimic mine, not create your own.
I don't get what you mean.
Amilla breathes in, and then she opens her hands, and the orb appears instantaneously before vanishing again. Do you see the difference?
Okay, this, and then she's snapping back, and she'll just thrust her hand out, and hopefully something comes out of it.
What are you trying to do?
She's just palming something out in front of her, trying to recreate what
Nothing happens.
She just saw. See?
Amilla reaches toward your hand, and she closes it tightly. And she says, I am not asking you to create an illusion. She pulls her hand out again, and silently the blue orb appears, and then she pushes it into your hands. And it's a real object. And then it disappears.
Okay. What? Okay, just ball, and she just does it again and tries.
No. When you say ball, Amilla, like, she doesn't actually like open hand slap you, but she does swat your hand down. She says, no. Magic. Silently. Allow your will to control the weave through your hand. Silently. Thoughts alone. Thoughts and will.
She just sighs heavily and...
Reach into yourself. Grasp that emotion. that binding that first tied you to it and pull it forth into your will to create a ball. And she says ball with the same, like, intonation that you did when you frustratedly were like, ball.
Okay. She wants me to reach for the emotion, the moment that the full power is manifested.
So
Correct? Is that what
mechanically, she's trying to get you to meta magic a subtle spell, but you don't have that yet.
Yeah, okay. That's what I initially thought.
Yes. She wants you to cast Prestidigitation to create a ball without using your verbal component. So Minor Illusion is the incorrect spell. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Frustrated. Still, she'll try to shake it away. Take a deep breath. And try to cast Prestidigitation silently.
Roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh, wow. Okay. Just a natural, I guess.
As you reach towards the magic, that emotion, the scene replays in your mind. Your fingers hot and burning as flames extended from them. The strange releasing sensation as if the flesh from your fingertips was flying forward, and the sight of your best friend being immolated before you. But you put it aside. You set it in the corner, aware that it happened, aware that you did that, but holding on to that feeling, the feeling of magic coming forth from your knuckles, tearing away from your digits, and as you gather it up, you cast Prestidigitation. What does the ball look like?
It's a swirling ball of arcane energy that looks black and white. Not fully black, but more of that drow skin tone. And the white hair that she knows so well. Just comes into being. And it's not, doesn't like actually depict her best friend's face or anything, or, it's just black and white swirling together.
Good.
Is that emotion still like fresh, that vision?
So, with a natural 20 for a 27 in this moment, yeah, you just pictured it, but you've compartmentalized it. You can decide whether that is immediately affecting Lorelei or not.
If she's boy.
Yeah.
I don't think she is. If she compartmentalized it, then she's not like immediately like shocked or stunned.
Right.
But she is openly, like, tears are just falling. And she's a little angry.
So you're facing the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you can hear behind you Sparks and Erithea are working. And it occurs to you, it does not matter what direction you're facing. But in your peripheral, you see there is a curtain an illusory wall? Something that is behind you that prevents you from actually seeing Sparks or Erithea. It was not there a moment ago. Amilla stands next to you, arms folded, nodding. I warned you this was going to be emotionally trying. You are learning to control what is inside you. There are walls that must be torn down in order to access it. Walls that separate the pain from you. Walls that your mind and soul have constructed to save you. But they also hinder you. Again, and she basically expects you to perform this again and again and again. And I imagine Lorelei probably has some feelings of resentment.
Yeah, definitely. Fuck. She will try in subsequent turns to not reach out to that emotion, that specific emotion anymore, but rather go to the time that she was trapped. And other times that she was stressed, running away from the guard in Taka, when she was first learning how to pickpocket, because I'm sure she probably got caught, or at least, not got caught, but rather someone spotted her doing something and she had to run.
I think anytime you choose an emotion or event that is not as severe as the time that you murdered your best friend, the charisma save will be at disadvantage.
Okay. That's fair. Do you want me to make some charisma saves here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
First, let's try it with focusing on the memory of her being trapped in the vault.
Okay.
A charisma save at disadvantage. And you have no idea what the DC is. You just slammed it the first time.
That's a 15.
A 15. You cannot create the sphere. As it fails, as you feel the magic almost like cloud in your fingertips, Amilla says, that wasn't silence, that was panic. Your magic should be a part of you. It should be second nature. Let it flow from you. The hurt will dwindle. Again.
Is the illusory wall separating this from the other students still there?
Yeah. You get the impression it's been there the whole time.
Okay.
Like as soon as you faced that wall, you didn't see it happen, but Amilla put it up.
Okay. She'll try the same thing again. And if it fails again,
You're with the same memory?
with the same memory, yeah.
It doesn't work.
She tries it anyway.
Sure.
But if it doesn't work,
it's not working. You've already failed that charisma save on that. So that memory is not drawing a strong enough emotion to create this meta magic event that you have not developed yet. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So and Amilla, just when she sees it fail, she says, you must try stronger emotion. Something that changed you. Something that formed you. Something that bends the magic to your will as it bended yours to its.
Okay. She's gonna try with the same memory she did it before.
The vault or her best friend?
Best friend.
It immediately appears.
I hate. It's that.
Is there not a truly happy memory that you could draw upon? Something that changed you for the better and not the worse? A salvation, an elation, an ecstasy that you can draw upon. It does not always have to be pain.
Try. I can try.
Amilla waves her hand. Proceed.
She'll reach for the memory of seeing Sinra and Liam for the first time, and the relief that came with it, or at least after the defensive, uh, you know,
Mm-hmm.
posture. Once that washed away and the relief settled in, she'll try to remember that.
Okay.
Disadvantage?
It is still a disadvantage, but roll me a charisma save.
14.
What does the ball look like?
What are the colors of Melisandre?
Oh,
What are the colors associated with her?
crimson and sunset orange.
That's what the ball is looks like. It's swirling those two colors together.
As this emotion of relief comes crashing through you, stronger than you felt that day, like magnified. It's as if the essence of relief is just awash. You almost feel yourself fall to your knees, but the ball appears and Amilla nods. It is always easier to control your magic through emotions of joy, pleasure, hope, salvation. Always. However, magic instinctually is more powerful through fear and pain. The trick is learning what is best for what and when. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. I want you to think back on your life. Think back to all of the emotional peaks and troughs, the valleys and the mountains, the highs and lows. I want you to try and perform this spell, prestidigitation, silently, by channeling your emotions from every event. And as you do, the ball is going to be different every time. But as you do, you're also going to become more proficient at understanding yourself and who you are. What made you who you are, and what you want to be. This is sorcerous magic at its core, Elle. It is understanding who you are and expressing that to everyone around you by affecting the weave with your will. That is how you're going to spend your morning, right here, creating balls. And Amilla sits down in the padded chair and watches you.
Okay. I think she goes through all the bad emotions first.
The DC for negative emotions on your charisma save is 18. The DC for positive emotions on your charisma save is 12.
Okay.
However, now that you understand this, and as you're practicing it, and you have a positive emotion and a negative emotion upon which to compare everything else to, they're no longer a disadvantage.
Okay.
You can understand what emotions are strong enough to bring about the magic and what just are not. In this controlled environment, which seems to be magically enriched. How long does this take Elle, do you think, to go through everything she's been through to try and figure out the positive and the negative?
Goodness, that's a loaded question. Hours.
Yeah. Some of your emotions, some of the ones that are more about fight or flight or instinctive, the ball will be bigger or brighter, or some of the emotions that are more about just pure happiness or joy or excitement, the ball is like almost like dancing in your fingertips, or the colors are shining brighter and more brilliant. Every time, based on the emotions of your memory, you understand how they change the spell. And I have homework for you, class.
Oh, okay.
Aside from what is covered in the backstory, I want you to come up with a truly happy memory and a truly sad memory.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just by next session, I want you to come up with those.
Sounds good. I mean,
after hours of this, your face hurts. You've been crying and gritting your teeth, and like you feel your cheeks hurt from smiling as the emotions from these different memories just rock through you. And they almost like, it's like reliving them every time. And as you feel exhausted, Amilla approaches and she holds out a clear, like, it's a very tall and very elven in design glass.
Uh-huh.
Here, this will help.
Is it like it's a glass of something like to drink?
Yeah.
I think she will step away because she does have that resentment. And she just puts her hand out like, I don't want it. And she's gonna stew in these emotions.
Okay. As you've had a very tiring morning and you refuse the drink, I need you to make a con save.
Okay. $17.
You are not exhausted, but you are out of spell slots.
Okay.
When you refuse the drink, Amilla shrugs and she sets it down on the table. And with that, she waves her hand and you finally see the curtain like disappear from behind you. And immediately you realize you couldn't really hear Erithea and Sparks. And suddenly you can.
I think when that happens, she'll ask Amilla, are we done for today?
We are done for the morning. After your lunch, I expect you to return.
Okay. And she'll just walk out of the classroom.
You hear her dismiss Sparks and Erithea too, and they emerge shortly behind you. Maybe to your dismay, maybe otherwise. But as you have a moment after all of this,
Uh-huh.
how you doing, Elle?
Elle's not good.
Yeah?
Is not good. She needs some fresh air. Um, so she'll skip lunch and she'll walk around the the grounds.
The grounds of the Merigard. Okay.
Yep.
You see a lot of people out here. A lot of people training, a lot of people talking. You do finally see that tall, brown-skinned tiefling that was leaving the Temple of Melisandre.
Okay.
You see he is training alongside a very red-haired halfling under the watch of Cressida.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that will make her pause. Is there like a crate or like somewhere she can like just post up or sit
Oh,
upon?
there's
Like,
there's tons of shit out here. You can
okay.
find anywhere to just wait.
She'll when she steps outside, she'll like put that cream color like cloak hood over put it up. And then she'll like stuff her hands in her pockets again and just like once she sees that, she'll be curious and she'll just sit like post up a little bit and just watch.
Okay. Sure. You like it's about that time, basically. You're out there for maybe like 10 minutes, and then you see Cressida like gesticulate, and then she picks up this big maul that was on the ground, and she just shucks it up onto her shoulder, and she begins heading into the Merigard. And you see
Uh-huh.
this towering, this big guy, big tiefling. He's like says something to the halfling,
Mhm.
and they really kind of give you a sense of scale with the tokens, different sizes.
Yeah.
And the halfling begins to like head towards the portcullis, and then the tiefling begins to head toward the front door of the Merigard, which means he's walking basically right by you.
Uh, does she say anything?
I don't know.
That's a good question for myself. She won't say anything, but she'll try to like catch, like just look at his armor, see if there's any like symbols.
Yes,
Uh,
there are symbols on his armor.
okay. Is
You would recognize it immediately. It is not Melisandre. It is the symbol of Dorn, the very benevolent god of the harvest.
oh, she didn't expect that. Uh, Dorn, really?
He he like stops and looks at you and he says, "Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
I saw you before, didn't I? Where did you were
Yeah.
I didn't think you're a student here. Yeah?
Your clothes are too cool for me.
Huh. Yeah, I get that. I mean, they shoved me in this the day I showed up. I walked up and burlap, and they laughed at me. So,
I'm sure it was better than what I showed up in.
oh, maybe, maybe not. I'm Holden. And he holds out a hand to you.
Elle. And she'll take her hand out of her pocket and shake it.
He is all smiles, and he says, "It's great to meet you."
Good to meet you too, but you were coming out of the Temple of Melisandre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Said a prayer, brought some food. There's always people that need help there, and I just try to make a difference, you know?
Okay.
You also notice that when you did shake his hands are like entirely callous. like rough as hell. No pun intended, because he's a tiefling.
So, how do you like Cressida?
She's got a strong head, and a way of doing things, that's for sure. But she knows a lot, and honestly, a lot of the stories she tells, the world's a lot darker than I might have thought it was.
They'll just nod.
I didn't know what I was getting into when I came down here, but I mean, I just want to make a difference, and she seems to know the way to do it, so I'm happy to listen. It's much louder here than back in Kona.
Kona? Do I know where that's at?
Roll a history. It's gonna be a hard one.
Okay. Well, 18. That's pretty high.
Well, Kona is not on the map. It is a tiny little farming town that you know is in northern Aurelia. And the only reason you know its name is because it kind of came up in the news as Kona was almost wiped from the face of the world by a demon incursion.
Yikes. Okay. So I'm on the map now. Where is that? Like, can you pin it? Like,
yeah, it's like it's at the end of the delta, right by Shona.
Okay.
It's just not big enough to be on the map. It's like a hamlet, basically.
Okay, gotcha. Small town.
Yeah, it is.
Rough history.
Yeah, kind of nods.
Is that why you're here?
Oh, I mean, when the big shepherd upstairs gives you a divine mission, you don't tell him no. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I just wanted to, make a difference, and my family's leaning on me for this, so here I am.
Oh.
You a follower of Melisandre?
A little bit.
She's one of the only avatars I've ever seen in person.
You have?
Oh, yeah.
That must have been a sight.
Oh, she's beautiful. And he, looks a little wistful as he's, looking off into the distance. I wish I was a good painter.
You can always try.
No, that ain't me. I ain't so good with the small little details, you know what I mean?
All right.
Little clumsy in the fingertips.
Fair enough.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Elle. I'm gonna go get some grub. Are you hungry?
Nice. No.
All right.
Gonna get some fresh air. Or more fresh air.
Well,
I'll
sure.
See you around.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And he just kind of smiles at you and meanders his way in. Full plate and all.
She'll continue her walk around.
Okay. Are you looking for anybody in particular? As there's a lot of people out here training. Or are you just walking?
Just walking. Just she needs to reset and calm down. That helped. That interaction helped a little bit. So the walk might not be as long as she needs. But How long is lunch typically?
It's an hour.
Okay.
I
Then
w-
I
Give me a
huh?
perception check real quick as you're walking around, because there is
Sure.
someone out here that you would definitely see if you have good enough eyes.
Well, today, kind of. It's
Okay.
pretty good.
As you're walking, you see crouched down in the far back fields of the courtyards behind the Maryguard Academy. There's lots of trees that kind of split up the walls at the back, and you see crouched beneath them a brown cloaked, hooded, metallic figure.
Oh,
You recognize from behind the same metallic cleric that you saw at the Mary Guard the previous night, though her back is to you.
oh,
Um,
okay.
you can
Uh,
dodge this encounter if you wish.
yeah, no, she's gonna step a little bit quicker. Just, just kind of, just fast walk around the corner, out of sight. Uh, I can roll stealth if you'd like me to. Just,
You're far enough away that you have advantage on the stealth check. Go ahead.
okay. Sounds good. Oh, this is 2 13s for 19.
19. Okay. Yeah, she seems undisturbed by your passing.
Okay, good. Gonna avoid that for now.
Just power
Um,
walking. You didn't see anything.
yep. Just head down, hoods over, hands in pockets, fast walking past around the corner.
Okay.
Um,
The next thing that I really think is important to explain is once you get out of the immediate training grounds outside the Maryguard, it's beautifully quiet out here. Somehow, the walls separate the busy market districts of Ferrum, the logging industry of the district, and out here, on the west side of the Maryguard, all that is there are the stables and just pasture and low-hanging trees. It is very
Pasture.
calm.
Okay. Does the pasture like is it in bloom right now, or is it holding like any kind of crops or?
Uh, it's 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 like end of winter season right now.
Okay.
So no, the pasture's pretty barren, unfortunately. But there are just a few surviving stalks of grass, and you see a few of the horses that are part of the pasture are just grazing.
Okay. Uh, when she spots that, she will walk over. I'm assuming the like is a stable open air, or is it like
It's completely open
a
air.
okay?
The horses can
Uh,
kind of go wherever they want, it appears.
the way I'm visualizing it is it's the stable. It's facing the the building, and
Yeah.
then the backside is the pasture, and it
That's
just opens up.
that's pretty much exactly what it is.
Okay. I think she will walk around to the backside of that stable and just enjoy the view and take a deep breath and just reset a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
You seem to have found a quiet place.
hopefully nobody's here enjoying the same thing. But if not, if she's alone,
Roll me a
she'll
perception
reset.
check.
Okay. Nope. Not caring.
You are
5.
alone, it appears.
All right. She'll spend like 30 minutes here, and then as she was going to take the full hour, but with that talk with Halden, right?
Yeah,
That's his name.
that was Halden. Yeah.
Uh, how do you spell that?
Halden.
Okay. With the talk with Halden, she only requires 30 minutes to reset, and then she'll walk back.
As
Dip
soon
into
as
the mess
you
hall.
like, as soon as you're like, you walk away from the stables, you realize on the opposite wall of where you were sitting. The only reason you realize this is because she says, Meditation is important. There is a tabaxi just crouched, like, not crouched, sitting crisscross applesauce with a long sword across her lap. And she's just, her eyes are closed, and she's seated there. And has been dead quiet the whole time.
Tabaxi, right?
Yes.
What kind of garb is she wearing?
Monk garb.
I'm still on the world map. There we go.
Yeah, that is her. She's wearing the monk's clothes. They're very, like, form-fitting and loose in places to allow easy movement. And she has a long, ornate sword across her lap that she is. Her hands are in gentle fists over her knees in a crisscross applesauce position. And there is a single candle lit in front of her that is gently just wicking smoke up in front of her.
You must be River?
I see my reputation precedes me.
You could call it that.
She slowly opens her eyes and looks up at you. Her eyes are bright orange. And as she looks up, I have not heard of you.
New. But Val, I think your name's Val.
Valeria.
Yes. Had a little story.
I am certain she did.
Well, sorry for interrupting your meditation.
By no means. I appreciate that you respect the quiet.
It's needed sometimes.
River nods.
Elle nods back and just steps around the stable and wanders off to the mess hall.
Yep.
She won't be in the mess hall for long. She'll just kind of like try to grab something small, like a apple or something, and then just take it with her back to the classroom.
Okay. As you return to the sorcerer's classroom, you basically grab enough food to stave off hunger, but you do not gain any bonuses. That's okay. Let's see here. As you get back to the sorcery classroom, Arithea and Sparks are not there. And Amila is waiting for you near the table.
Okay. Well, is there... She's been kind of like... I'm just imagining there's 3 seats. Is there an additional seat that's away from Amila?
Like as you go to sit down, Amila just shakes her head and gestures for you to approach.
Yep. What's up?
This afternoon... Excuse me. Wrong character.
It's okay.
Bitchy militaristic instructor. Okay. Amila says, this afternoon we are moving on to practical procedures. As part of your tasks as a mercenary of the Merigard Academy, you're going to have to work with people that you do not know. Strangers. And so, we are going to work immediately upon that. You are to follow me to the training room.
Oh, great. She'll take a bite of the apple and then set it down on the table where she sits. Probably pisses off Amila a little bit. But if it doesn't, she'll just follow.
Amila does not seem to comment on the apple.
Fair enough.
As you and her leave the sorcerer classroom, you're heading down the hall, and as she arrives, Amila turns to Persh and says, has the student I requested arrived? Persh nods and he says, "Waiting for you in the training room." Amilla nods and then proceeds on into the training room, assuming that you are following.
Mm-hmm.
As you enter the training room, let me go ahead and pull that up. You see there is a blonde woman who's very physically fit. She is rolling her head around in her shoulders, cracking her knuckles, performing some arm stretches. And as you enter, "About time," Amilla, with a very terse reply, says, "We humbly apologize if we have wasted your time. Lorelei, Elle, meet Cassia Thorne, a fighter student. You will be working with her in this afternoon's exercise."
Okay.
Cassia looks at you.
Hello.
"You don't look like much."
She just smiles.
Amilla doesn't comment, but she says, "I understand from Illerand, you must also work on the same task, and so the two of you are going to cooperate. You are going to subdue your assailants, not slay. The purpose of this exercise is not to destroy them, to capture them. They must be conscious and aware of what is happening to them by the end of the bout. Should you slay either of them, this mission is failed. Do you understand?"
Yes.
"Whatever you say." "Do either of you have any experience with the Fae?"
Do I?
"I don't know. It's up to you." "Probably not."
No, probably not. Yeah.
Cassia just shakes her head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you are like, no. And so
Mm-mm.
you see Amilla just kind of smirks slightly. "Then, this shall be interesting. Learn as you go. Be aware they will try to trick you, deceive what you see, or sway you, perhaps even turning you against each other. You don't know each other. This is going to be a battle of trust as much as it is a battle of will. But you must both understand immediately your priority is to work with the Merryguard, as you both are students of it. Do I make myself clear?"
Yep.
Cassia nods again, though she's like looking at you quizzically. Basically, like you read on her face, she always like this.
And if if I read that so easily, I just like Elle will just like her eyes widen and she'll just like nod, like exasperated.
Okay. Well, as this happens, Emilia just says, "Good." And then she snaps her fingers and immediately sand up into a pair of these small fey creatures with long, wicked blades. They are red caps. And they look dangerous.
Yeah.
I need you to roll initiative.
Okay. I have no spell slots.
I know. You denied the drink. You fool.
I did. That's fine.
Yep.
It's sorry.
Good luck. Good luck, my guy.
Thank you. Can I go first? Probably.
Okay. You do, yes. So, Elle, as these red caps... And do you speak Sylvan?
Not a lick.
Yeah, same with Cassia. So neither of you know what they're saying. They're just... And we're going to start combat. Elle, what do you do?
Oh boy. Okay. I don't know what Fae are, what they do, or
How would Lorelai handle
how they
this?
operate. Okay.
So you know, like, the stories, right? You've heard the tales of Fae deceiving people, of, like, tricking people to follow them into the darkness and then bamboozling them to be trapped as slaves forever. Like, you've heard those stories. You just don't know what these are.
Okay, I only have cantrips because Lorelai's a fool. Um, okay,
One wonders when she will learn Emila's on her side.
hey, she's probably heard like tales of like fairies and
Yeah.
pixies and all that
That's what
stuff.
she's heard, for sure.
Okay, then and she probably knows that like elves have a fey nature or have like a heritage of fey, correct?
Yeah, a bit. She knows
A
that
bit.
there's definitely fairy influence in elven bloodline, yeah.
Okay. Then she will. She knows a spell, minor illusion, and some what she thinks are fairy wings pop out of her back,
Which she thinks, okay. All right, so class, I need to know, what does she think fairy wings look like?
like dragonfly wings.
Okay, that's not right, but it's not entirely wrong.
Hmm.
Let's see. Let's see here. What's your spell DC?
DC is 15.
15. Okay. So you lose wings onto your back. You now look like you can fly.
Okay.
What do you do with that?
She is going to um from the story she's read, she's probably uh, are there any like archfey that have stories within the material realm that like aren't commonly known?
Oh, you mean like archfey that even someone like as bare bones as you would know of?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Roll me a history check.
We love these. 12.
Okay. Okay. I'm pulling up my notes here.
Mhm.
I have to sift through this shit. I don't know why I didn't expect this question. Okay.
I'm toying with the idea of using her words and charisma to have them stand down, like have that presence of authority, that archfey presence of authority. That's the idea behind of what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So there's a story. They say when the moon is full and the wind speaks in silver, you might catch your own reflection winking at you. And that is Sorrel of the Evermirror, the Fey Queen who remembers too much. This very much like a very over the top story about Sorrel, this Fey, this Archfey of the Summer Court.
Okay. I think she will step next to. Did I catch her name? What's her name?
Cassia.
Cassia, right.
Cassia
Step next to
Thorne. It was
Cassia.
told directly to you.
Yes, it was. I remember thinking too much. She will step forward with these illusory wings and she will say, Cereal? Is
Sorrel.
that God damn it.
Cirelle. But cereal's a great way to insult her. If you ever made her like,
Sorrel,
hey, cereal, dead.
Sorrel tells you to stand down now.
Roll intimidation or deception.
Deception is better.
Good luck.
So we'll do that. Thank you. Okay, 24.
24. Okay, so the one on the left. What? Oh. Ah. Like, looks like he's questioning why he's even there. And the other one, like, looks at him and then back at you. And he, like, raises the sword above his head. It looks like you deceived one of them, and the other one is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay. All right. She'll look to Cassia. That's her name. I'm getting these names right.
Yep,
Cassia.
getting there.
Looks at Cassia and just like
You can open
looks
the
at
combat
her.
tracker and you'll see her name.
Okay, yeah. Looks at Cassia and then just kind of like looks back at the one that she didn't deceive. It's like that one's yours.
Cassia
I got
cracks
this
her
one.
knuckles and she says, say no more.
All right, and that's my turn.
It's now Cassia's turn. And she fucking flying leaps at this one. The one that clearly didn't look like it was deceived. And she does not have any weapons in her hands. As she just goes to ground pound this individual. She has daggers and hand axes on her belt and a longbow on her back. But she doesn't pull any of them out. And you watch as she, like, runs up to this red cap, which is what it is, throws her arm underneath its neck and tries to, like, clothesline it into the ground. So there's going to be an unarmed strike. Here we go. Which hits, dealing a d8 plus strength. Okay. You watch as she just slams this red cap. It was like, as it gets, like, arm across the neck. It takes 12 points of damage.
Oh.
And then she's going to make a grapple check as a bonus action. It's
Okay.
going to be an athletics contest. Okay. And now for the red cap. I don't know if you know this, but red caps are not bad at athletics. And as she, like, tackles him, and in this brief struggle, she wraps her arm up around its neck, and you hear, come here, you little shit. Gosh, caught Maven. And as she does, the red cap just, like, squirts out from under her arm. And and it's very upset that it was punched in the face, and then that she tried to basically choke it out. And you hear the other red cap just, like, saying something. You don't know what it is. And it's now the red cap's turn. The red cap, who you have successfully deceived, is looking between you and Cassia and the other red cap. And he's going to consider what you said with a deception of 24. Okay. He looks non-hostile for the moment, but he's questioning, if you understand.
I understand.
The other red cap is going to attack Cassia.
Okay.
It whips this giant sickle around, and Cassia manages to deflect it. You see she's, like, wearing these thick iron bracers on her arm, and just knocks them off. It appears Cassia has no intention of using any weapons at all.
All right.
And the red cap just, like, seems very angry, and it's going to kick her with its big iron boots. And miss. I have seen better scraps farther south, let me tell you. And Cassia just, like, basically, like, as he goes to kick him, she raises her own boot and just blocks it with the ball of her foot.
Nice.
So now your turn.
Okay. She's gonna if he has any doubts, she will say again. That one, or That one didn't follow directions, and now he's seeking punishment. I'd best stand down. She says to the other one that she's deceived.
Roll another deception.
Okay. Not as good. 18.
18. The red cap that you are deceiving looks at you. Its sickle like in one hand, it's like holding the tip, and it looks confused as it's looking to the other one and then at you. Doesn't seem to know what to do.
Stand down.
He might do something on his turn. But you have an action. I'll say that's not your whole turn.
Okay. She will hold a sorcerer's burst in case he gets aggressive.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. It's now Cassia's turn. She's going to try again. She's like looking at you over her shoulder. Are you going to do anything other than just talk? As she tries to punch it in the face.
She just like Lorelai just looks at her and just like looks at the other red cap. I got it. He's not doing anything.
13. She crits, by the way, for 18 points of damage.
Oh, yeah. All right.
As she just slams the red cap in its head with her elbow, the red cap like falls flat on his back. Just you can actually see like tiny birdies just around its head. And I'm gonna say Cassie has advantage on this athletics follow-up to try and grapple it because of the crit. Okay, that's a 22 on athletics. The red cap will attempt to resist and fails. This red cap is grappled.
Nice.
The red cap that you were questioning, as soon as you say, I've got it, you see the red cap like sees his friend just get the absolute daylights just like right out of his head, and he's just, oh, and this red cap goes, and he's raises the sickle above his head. And you cast Sorcerer's Burst and that trigger?
I do, yes.
Okay.
We'll do let's rattle him with some thunder damage.
Okay, go ahead. Roll your spell attack.
20.
That absolutely hits. As you cast the spell, you hear Cassie say, "That is better. That is better than just watching."
6 thunder damage to the red.
Okay,
cap.
so as you slam him with 6 thunder damage, I want you to roll me intimidation with advantage.
Ah, nice. Okay. $23.
Okay, hold on. As you slam him with the Sorcerous Burst and the thunder damage just like rattles him as he was about to run up. He just, yeah, and he like lowers the sickle and he looks cowed.
Good. All right. Yeah, she'll give him that like, try it again, and you'll get hit again.
He forgoes his turn because you have subdued him, it seems.
Okay.
The other red cap is grappled, and you hear him protesting. Just like he's yelling at the other one as he's like getting held by Cassia, and he's just and he's struggling and cannot get loose. He's gonna try and squeeze himself out of her grip. And that's pretty good. She's got to roll pretty good too. She does. She holds on firmly to the red cap, and the red cap burned its action. It's going to use its multi-attack to just kick her. And misses again. The big iron boot she can't get a good angle to stomp Cassia. And Cassia, who's got him held up, is just, this is pathetic. Just let it happen. And she looks at you. Rope?
Okay, stop resisting. And she'll mind
Oh,
sliver
yeah,
the
that'll
one
do
that she
it.
has. And she'll mind sliver the one
Oh,
that she has
okay.
health.
Yeah. Roll a spell attack.
No, it's a 15 int save.
Oh, okay. They're not great at that. I
Thought
rolled a
not.
12.
Okay. The damage is 1.
Okay.
Psychic. But with Mind
He
Sliver,
gets
I
like a
think it's
tiny nosebleed just as all this is happening.
subtract 1d4 from the next saving throw.
Okay, that'll be useful.
Yep.
So you mind sliver it.
Yep.
What else? Anything
Just
else?
that's the action, and she'll just kind of like eye the other one. His punishment is yours if you stay out of it. If you don't stay out of it.
Okay. It's now Cassia's turn. Cassia, like, sees that you aren't getting rope, and she just, and she reaches into her pack. And as she does, he's going to take an effort to try and break out of the grapple. You watch as frustratedly Cassia, like, headbutts him, lets go with her hands, and wraps her legs, like, super tight around his shoulder and chest, like in a wrestling move. And he's just completely prone as she now has her hands free. This all my fucking self is fine. It's fine, Cassia. They asked you, did you want to be a hero? No! And she pulls rope out of the bag. She's going to use her action to try and... Actually, no, her action was to grapple it again, so... Instead, Cassia is going to action surge and try to bind him with the rope. So this is a survival check.
Okay.
Okay. He is restrained by rope. And that was Cassia's turn. Where is restraint? Is that not a thing I can do? It is. There it is. Okay. So Cassia, like, rolls away from him, gets back up on her feet, like, wiping her hands off. Well, your turn.
Okay.
And it's not actually your turn. It's the red cap who is currently cowed, sees his friend get tied up and is struggling against the ropes. He's going to roll another time. Okay. You apparently, like, the idea of Cyril being upset and your high rolls on intimidation and deception, he just... And he, like, sets the sword down. He surrenders.
Good. Well done.
As the one surrenders and the other is fully restrained, he has an opportunity to break out of the restraint on his turn. And he fails to. So, subdued. That is the end of combat. And as that happens, these two red caps vanish into sand. Huh. Well, you did not exactly work together, but you did function well enough to accomplish the goal. Deceptions are your most valuable tool, especially in combat. If you can make an enemy think something you want them to think, that is the correct approach. Cassia, your martial prowess is, of course, as impressive as ever. Cassia, like, picks up her rope that was, like, just left on the ground in the sand and brushes it off. This was a learning experience, she says as she puts it away.
I would have done more, but well,
You're
a lot of my energy. Nothing.
Amilla nods. Cassia, you are dismissed. Tell Illerad he has my thanks. and thank you for your time. Cassia nods to her, and then as she walks by you, she basically holds out a hand.
Like for shaking or like a fist bump?
It's a shake.
Okay. Yeah, she'll shake it. Good work.
We may not have to fight together again in the future, but you did well enough. It's fine with me.
Thanks.
She leaves.
Well.
And with that, we are heading back to the classroom.
Okay. Was I supposed to do something more there, or just?
In the eyes of a marshal, not everything is as obvious. But you did exactly as you should. Especially considering that you were drained of your energy. Being resourceful when on the edge is more important than being brutal when fully refreshed.
She'll nod.
Follow me.
And she'll follow.
You and her return to the classroom, where Amila is not, she doesn't care where you go. She goes to the bookshelves. You can sit anywhere at the table. Your apple is still there, though a little browning.
Okay. Just a little browning. Then, she'll eat the rest of it.
You also notice the drink is still there.
Oh. So what is this? What does it do?
Looking into the bookshelf, Amila says over her shoulder, "It is a replenishment potion. It restores you a portion of your energy back to you after expending yourself. It is a brew of my own devise."
Okay. Well, that would have been helpful.
It wouldn't. I'm sorry. It would have, wouldn't it?
She'll take up the glass and take a sip of it. How does it taste?
It's like, imagine Sprite on steroids. It is powerful and cleansing at the same time.
Oh.
With a hint of lemon lime.
All right. She'll drink the rest of it.
You restore 2 first-level spell slots.
Oh, okay. Nice.
It would not cleanse exhaustion, so if you had that, it doesn't do anything about that. But it will restore some of your magic. And at first level, it restores all your magic.
It does.
Yeah. You feel rejuvenated as the energy from the drink courses through you, as if lightning dances through all of your veins from your neck down to your stomach to your fingertips and toes. It is electrifying.
She'll take a deep breath. And I believe Sparks told her about a book that she might be interested in reading that was here. I tried to go back and see remember what the book was called, but I think it was involving the Mechanist or something that Sorcerous Origins or something
Sorcerous Origins. Yes, that was the name of the book. But as you're considering that, Amila thumps a book down in front of you.
Oh. What does it say?
Arcanist's Essentials.
Homework?
The rest of your afternoon will be spent studying that. It is important, as the sorcerer, you will understand the arcane and the mechanics by which it works. You will often be the source of information as to the occult and strange that your team finds out in the world. I understand that studies might not be your favorite task, but it is a vital one, particularly for us. So.
Okay. She'll crack it open.
The rest of your class day is spent studying this tome. And you see, like, as soon as you open the first page, it says Arcanist Essentials by Bedvik Benelicillian.
All right.
And as you begin looking through the book, it's actually very entertainingly written because it's
Oh.
clear that it was written for people that don't want to read.
Good. All right. I was gonna roll like if she has ADHD or something like that, and just doesn't retain any information. But if it's entertaining, then
It appears that Bedvik Benelicillian has a very wry and dry, sarcastic opinion of everything, and he maintains that the entire book. But basically, the first sections of the book is talking about magic and how it appears to be everywhere, and it doesn't like to explain itself to anyone. And that this book will try and assist the reader in understanding the basics, regardless of that. It is a thick book, and it will, if you begin to read it, this is going to be the first steps for a proficiency in Arcana.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How much time is left in the day? Like a couple hours?
There's 2 hours left in the day.
Okay.
So go ahead and just write down in your inventory notes that you have 2 hours toward Arcana.
All right. 2 plus 2 hours. Okay.
At the end of the class day, Amila sits down opposite the table of you. You are doing well.
He is silent for a moment. And she thinks about, like, unloading. But it's still too much for her to say it out loud. And she'll just nod.
I understand you're going through the hardest time of your life right now. I understand you're looking for distractions, or perhaps a target upon which to vent your frustrations. I want you to know that I recognize it. I appreciate the work that you're doing, whether it be for the right reasons or wrong. I'm pleased to have you as a student. It's rare that someone with such raw potential is willing to express their emotions in such an open way. So I thank you. If you're enjoying the book, feel free to take it, though I require a return in the morning.
Okay.
You are dismissed.
She'll take the book and put it under her arm and leave the classroom.
As you leave the classroom, heading out into the hall, you see Persh at the front desk. Your dorm is the opposite direction. And as you consider what your next steps are, as you're free out in the afternoon, it's about 4 o'clock, that is where we're going to call it for tonight's session.
Good.
Thank you for playing with me. That was an emotionally intense session, at least for this character. And I Appreciate you going through it. Hope you had a good time. And to those of you who are at home or at work watching, hi Ben, hi class, hi Emily, hi everybody else. We love you all. And I wish you a good night.